Hey, what's up, everybody? Coach Jason. I hope you're doing well. Welcome back. Before we go any further, get a pen and a paper, or pad and pen, and because I'm going to give you 10 workouts to help you achieve a sub 2-minute half mile or a sub 2-minute 800 meters. Whether it's something you're looking to do, whether it's something you're trying to help your athletes achieve, I'm going to give you 10 solid workouts that you can either use or build towards over time, depending on the age and experience and ability level of your athletes, and to help you achieve. This is a pretty monumental goal, and it's a pretty big one, and it's a heck of an accomplishment as well. And an 800 meters is an interesting event because it's pretty much as closest to 50-50 in terms of anaerobic and aerobic balance. It's slightly off 50-50, but it's closest to it than any other event. And it does require you to kind of have the strength of a miler, 3K, 5K runner, at the same time as speed of a quarter miler or a 200 meter runner. So a combination of strength and speed is one of the things that that is most important. One of the things that's most important for a good, successful 800 meter runner. But that also means that training at multiple paces is very important. Okay, and I'm a big proponent of a multi-pace training system, and because what it does is it not only makes you more versatile, but it puts you in a position to respond to different types of races, whether it's go from the start, whether it's a tactical race, kicking towards the end, kicking in the middle. It doesn't matter what type of race it is, but if you're working a whole bunch of different paces, you're building that strength. You're building that speed development over time as well. And, and the better position you'll be to make good decisions in races too, because you'll be fit enough to adapt on the fly if you need to make adjustments on the fly if you need to in a race, because a lot of 800 meter races are unpredictable too, and but it's important to be ready for them. Two names, you may have heard them, may have not. Peter Snell from New Zealand. He was a 1964 800 meter and 1500 meter champion in the Olympics. Okay, the only person to win both of them in the same Olympics. He actually did a lot of marathon training for his half mile. Or for his middle distance races, I should say, and he developed an insurmountable fortress of strength that propelled him to those victories. And that's not to say he built, he didn't do a lot of speed work, which he did, but he was a very, very, very heavily aerobically trained half miler, which is not usually the norm, but it worked for him. So, and what that goes to show you is identifying the needs of your athletes are important too. Some people might need a little bit more of this, a little bit less of that, or a little bit a little bit more balance. So it's important to, to learn as much as you can about your athletes if you're a coach. And because not everybody's going to have the same needs. Not one program is going to work the same way for everybody. Not everybody's going to recover the same way from the same workout. And these are things that you jot down over time, you document over time, and then allows you to make adjustments with their training or with your training. So, just something to keep in mind. The other name is Dave Waddle, 1972 Munich Olympic champion in 800 meters. He was an American. Take a look at his video if you haven't seen it yet. He's the guy wearing a hat. He was basically in dead last going into the bell. And you have to see his second lap, what he did to everybody else. When everybody else was slowing down, he was staying even, picking past people, and took them all out at the final straightaway to win. So there's a lot of different ways to run the half mile. And it's important to play your strengths, also important to learn what your strengths are and identify your, somewhat weaknesses so that you can cater to both in the matter that's most important to you or your athletes. Very, very important. That's why training at a multi-tiered training system is really, really key. But with that, let's go over 10 workouts. And just as an FYI, some equivalents, okay? Your mile or your 1500 meter equivalent for about a 159 800 meters, about 4 minutes and 2 seconds, and which puts your mile at about 4:20. Okay, and your 400 meter equivalent is about 54 seconds, maybe a little bit faster, but right around 54 seconds. Okay, it's essentially you take your 400 meter time, you add 5 seconds to it, and then you times it by 2. So if it's 54 point, you get to 59 point or whatever, puts you at 158, 159. Okay, when you multiply it by 2. And the cool thing about it is if you're closer enough, if you're closer to your 400 than you are the 1500 mile, it's an indication to enhance some of your aerobic training and start to do some more of these workouts within threshold training. On the flip side, if you're closer to the mile than you are the 400, which means you probably are a more strength-oriented runner, then some more additional speed development could be a good thing to add to the training. So a lot of these things, they tell you a lot of things. You know, your equivalent races. That's why I recommend doing a 1 mile time trial on a lot of my videos, because it not only helps you identify, but it also helps you set the right training paces for everything. Okay, and I'm going to give you a 3K equivalent, about 839, 840 for about a 159.5 mile, and the 5K is about 1450. Okay, it's not saying that everybody's going to be able to do that, particularly more speed-oriented runners, but when it comes to some of these workouts, it helps you figure out paces for certain workouts and workouts to build towards. I encourage you to take a look at my 1 mile time trial video down in the description and how to set the right training paces. I'm also going to put out a couple other ones about tempo and threshold, because it'll tell you how to build towards a certain level of tempo training and threshold training, which is about 20 to 25 minutes worth of 4 miles worth of volume. How do you go from scratch to that in a way that helps you recover effectively over time? So that's an important video, so take a look at that one too. It'll give you a better understanding of certain things here. But here are the 10 workouts, okay? And I'll work my way from 10 to 1. Number 10, 4 to 5 by 1200 meter efforts with a 1 minute recovery at threshold pace, okay? Again, threshold pace. So this particular one is about 352 to 348, okay? 352 to 348 is the range for, it's about 77 to 76 to 77 seconds per 400, okay? About 5:10 pace, or a little bit faster, okay? That's workout number 10. Number 9 is 5 to 6 times 1,000 meter effort with the same 1 minute recovery at the same threshold pace, which will be about 315 to 310 per rep. You're running pretty much the same pace as you are for the 1000s as you are the 1200s, but 5 to 6 times 1,000, total volume, 6,000 meters. 5 times 1,200, 6,000 meters. You're capping it at about 6,000 meters, or no more than 4 miles worth of volume. Anything beyond that can become counterproductive when you're trying to train for middle distance races. So, but this allows you to get work done at threshold pace. You'll get some work at 3K pace and 5K pace, which is a very important pace range to train in, and then you'll have a couple of workouts shortly, as well as your 800 meter specific training too. So number 8, a 20 to 25 minute anaerobic threshold run / tempo, okay, aka tempo. Their pace range is about 5:30 to 5:20 per mile. Now, can you go out and just do 20 to 25 minutes consecutively? Probably not. How do you build towards it? There's a certain way that I recommend that makes it, feasible for pretty much anybody to do, and over time, over a period of 10 to 12 weeks or whatever it is, just and gives you a basic rundown. I would encourage you to watch the video, but I break it up like this into 6 pieces: 2 times 6 minutes at tempo, then 12 minutes consecutively, same amount of time. Then I go 2 times 8 minutes and 16 minutes consecutively. That's the next block. And then 2 times 10 minutes and 20 minutes consecutively. It allows you to do 6 sessions and build gradually towards 20 minutes consecutively, or 4 miles, should you want to do that. But it allows you to do it in such a way so that you can recover sufficiently and learn the pace and add to the goal pace range. Instead of trying to do 20 minutes, maybe going out too fast or falling apart or whatever, this allows you to gradually build into the pace and stay there. So that's a good way of doing it too. Number 7, 7 to 8 times 600 meter efforts at 3K pace with a 2-minute recovery. In this case, you're about 145 to 142, so 68 to 70 seconds per 400 meters. Okay. Next one, number 6, 5 to 6 times 800 meters, also at 3K pace, the same exact pace with a 2-minute recovery. So you can start at 600s and add to that, or start at 800s and add to that, and you build over time as you get older and more fitter and more experienced, more reps and more reps until you're at the maximum amount of reps. Okay, that's about 220 to 218 per rep. So again, 69, 70 seconds per rep, per lap, per 400 meters. Okay, And again, 2-minute recovery. Both workouts at 3K pace. Okay. Number 5, 3 to 4 times 500 meters with a 5 to 6 minute recovery. Okay, at 126 to 124. Okay, now you get a little bit closer to, let's say, mile pace. Okay, somewhere around there, and a little bit slower, So 3 to 4 times 500 meters, 5 to 6 minute recovery at 126 to 124, and then you, over time, you get that down. You drop it down to mile pace, and then you try to work your way towards 800 meter pace. Okay, 3 to 4 times 500. That's a pretty hefty workout. If you could do 3 of them at goal 800 meter pace, which would be about 113 to 114, that's a good workout. It's a really good workout. If you can do 4 of them, that's a good workout. I may build that over time, okay? And you just progress faster as you get fitter and more experienced. 5 to 6 times 1,000 meter efforts with a 3-minute recovery at 5K pace, which is 2:58 to 3 minutes per rep. So again, 14:50 to 1500 for 15 minutes. Okay, again, for more strength oriented, that's not saying you're going to go out and be able to go out and do a 14:50 or 15 minute if you're more speed oriented, but these types of workouts are important to, to build the strength to allow you to get to this point where you can do this. Okay, and again, you could start at 2, you could start and work to 3, to 4, to 5 over time, over the months, over the years. Okay, you don't have to do all these things right away. And again, just because you can do these workouts doesn't guarantee you're going to run 159, but these workouts will put you in a position to be to go out and to be able to compete for a 159. So potentially faster. But again, some people might run a little bit slower, might respond better to different workouts. Sometimes you might need to modify some of these workouts. But I have used these workouts for athletes and gotten them under 2 minutes on a regular basis. Okay, so there's no guarantee with any workout. It's all part of consistent training over an extended period of time, and what you do on the other days is also important. Okay, so number 3, 9 to 10 by 200 meter efforts with a 200 meter jog, 28 to 30 seconds. So it's approximately 800 meter pace and slightly faster. Okay, 28 to 30, you build towards that. 9 to 10 reps. You might even be able to get up to 12 reps with a 200 meter jog recovery. It's about a minute recovery. Or a little bit more. Workout number 2, 7 to 8 times 300 meters. Okay, with a 1 minute recovery, 43 to 45 seconds. That's a meaty workout. That's a tough one. If you can do that workout, that's a good sign of being able to be close to sub 2 minutes for half. Okay, so again, 7 to 8 times 300 meters with a 1 minute recovery, 43 to 45 seconds. And last workout is number 1 is 2 times 600. Okay, with a 10-minute recovery in between at your goal 800 meter pace. So let's say you're shooting for 128 to 129. You need to know what it feels like to go through in 128, 129, or maybe even faster, 127, 128. Okay, you need to know what it feels like on a regular basis. And doing this type of workout will help you do that. Okay, so again, 2 times 600 with a 10-minute recovery at about 128 to 129. Some people might run 127, but it's no slower than 130. Okay, and then this is a workout you can do something else over time too. You can also do 2 sets of 600, 200, where you do this 600 at 128 to 129, take a 30-second rest, and then try to run a 200 meter effort in 28, 29 seconds. Then you take a 10-minute recovery, try to repeat that. That's 2 broken 800s. So that's something you can build towards as well. So here are 10 workouts to help you achieve a sub 2 minute half. Let me know what you think. Give me your feedback in the comments down below. Please hit the thumbs up if you enjoy it. And if you're looking for good running content and you're a coach or an athlete, this channel is for you. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification next to it so you don't miss what I'm going to be putting out moving forward, because there's going to be a lot of good content. And always take a look in the description, because I've got a bunch of recent videos and a bunch of older videos in there for your enjoyment and for your education. The goal is to have this be the most comprehensive, the best running channel out there. Okay, and if there's something that I don't have yet that you want me to put out, let me know in the comments and I'll work on that too. Until then, look out for each other, train smart, be safe. Talk to you next time.